Hello, everybody. My name is thezman1. Today we'll be speedrunning 4 different operations in Star Wars: The Old Republic. The first one that we're going to be doing tonight is Terror from Beyond. Then we'll be moving into Scum and Villainy. We call it Duxon, but it's got a different name in game. And then the Ravagers. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and get us a ready check going. And once this clears, we're going to walk in the door. We're going to mount up first because, you know, we have to have the ding ding. We all have like matching mounts. There are like, there's 3 different mounts that all make like a ding ding sound when you mount up. So we have matching outfits and matching mounts. So what we're gonna do here is one of my raid members is gonna give us a ready check in here, and then once that clears, we'll be going with the timer. All right, and 3, 2, 1. I just added this new boost that allows us to go way faster. It's called, well, it used to be called Speeder Piloting 6. Now it's just called like Speeder Boost or something. So I am playing on a Sentinel. The main reason that I'm playing Sentinel this year and not Sage like I did last year is Sentinel has a speed boost that allows you to go like, I don't know, is it like 80% faster maybe? So while we're in combat, I can use that, or when we're in areas that we can't mount in, I'll be using that. So kind of the story behind this one is, and most of the ones that, or the first 2 that we'll be doing tonight are both associated together with the Dread storyline. So I believe last year we did the Dread Fortress and Dread Palace, along with a couple other ones that are associated with that. So basically, there are these like terrible people that have been imprisoned for a very long time, and so our goal is to stop them. They've created all these different monsters that we have to kind of take care of before we get to them, and can take them out. So this portion here, we're just unlocking a door, and we'll be mounting up. I hope somebody hit the buttons. I will do the button clicky, or not. And then we're just gonna skip this mob. I'm gonna transcendence us. And then the moment that we're all here, we'll be pulling, going. Oh, there we go. There's the ready check. So this first boss is the Writhing Horror. Basically just a big, like, I don't know, I feel like it's a burrowing insect type creature. So she's gonna move around. Then we may get a jealous male. We may not. We do pretty well with our DPS because we basically have 1 healer and 7 DPS, which your normal operation setup is going to be 2 healers, 2 tanks, and 4 DPS. But now we did get a male. Okay. But for us, we'll be doing, because obviously 2 heals is too slow, you know, and 2 tanks just don't put out DPS. So the goal is speed. So the more DPS we have, the better we are. Then we're just gonna fall down here. And so this boss has been broken since it launched, where it keeps you in combat until you make it out here. So it's very slow because you move significantly slower in combat. Yeah, so we're gonna be doing these hyper gates. They're gonna pop up. And they do like an AoE damage effect, and also spawn enemies. So the goal is to kill the hypergate first, and then take the enemies out quickly. And then we mount up quickly, or else we will not be able to go. There are 3 here, and then there'll be 3 later. These are probably like the most boring parts of the whole thing. It's just running in between the bosses. Thankfully for Duxon, all the bosses are like one after the next, and so we don't really have to worry about any part where we're just like walking in between bosses and things. The first 2, there's a lot of walking between the bosses, unfortunately. Alright, now we're about to enter the cave. This cave can be... I've seen it done multiple different ways. The way we're actually going to do it is we're all going to mount up, and we're going to go all the way through the cave to the first set of enemies beyond the cave. And we're also going to skip the money boss, as it used to be, for 2 hours, but hopefully nobody gets knocked off. That would not be good. We're skipping this guy. Now they will, so the ads that we just pulled will take a hot minute to get to us, so we're just gonna keep going until we kill them all and kill everything else that we need to, so. Oh. Give us some transcendence. Also, my character's name is based off of one of the NPCs you meet later in the game. His name is Kai Zyken. And he's like this pirate smuggler guy. He's just so quirky. But basically our raid group is named Kai Zyken because it's not always pretty, but we still get it done. Alright, so for this group, we want to be on this guy back here. He's the only one that doesn't move, and so we'll just bring the other ones to us and take them out. Now, if you've never been in here before, there is a lore item there. And then this bridge that we're going over down in that cave is a boss that appears on hard... No, it's Nightmare Mode? Nightmare Mode TFB? You need like a special mask and everything to kill him, so it's interesting. something we haven't done yet, but I would love to do at some point. So this boss,
how they scuttle about, these defenders of freedom,
we're approaching are
they fancy themselves important, and
the
their
Dread
lives
Guards.
meaningful.
The kill order here is gonna be Herod, and then Cyphus, and then Kelsara. Now there are mechanics. But since they're since this is story mode, they're made up and they don't matter.
Serve will die. We
So,
are the chosen.
We're gonna beat on Herod a little bit. He's gonna shield, or Cyphus is gonna shield him. Then we have to interrupt Cyphus, do damage and interrupt Cyphus. Yep, there it is. Yes. Interrupt. We're back on Herod. Alright, and then we're going back to Cyphus. So he casts an ability called Doom on you. And so there are these green circles that you'll see dropping around the map. You have to, in story mode, collect 2 of them. In hard mode, it's 3. And basically, in order to get rid of Doom, you either have to kill Cyphus or step in those puddles. Doom will automatically kill you. It's an insta-kill.
You will welcome death before the end. We may fall.
He just doomed somebody, but that doesn't matter. Once again, the mechanics are made up, and they don't matter either. Now, Kelsara, she does an ability where she puts like a beam between her and one player. That player has to run away or they'll be killed. So looks like our healer got the beam. Usually it's a ranged person that gets the beam.
We are more forgiving than the masters.
I get stuck on a wall. I tell you, my my characters have wall magnets in them, and so they'll just walk into walls. So now we're going through core rooms. So there are 3 of these rooms. The first 2 have 1 core piece, and then the last one has 2 cores. You don't want to stand in the lightning. One night I was doing this on hard mode and I disconnected in the middle of the lightning. So great. For this upcoming boss, there is a little bit different of a mechanic. Operator 9, probably one of my favorite bosses in this raid. I don't know, Terror from Beyond is pretty great too. But for Operator 9, they're basically four colors. And you have to, at minimum, have 2 people go into each color in order to complete the... to complete the boss properly. So sorry, I can't think of words today. It's been a great day. See here, so we're about to finish the last couple of cores. For this room, we do have a strategy where since we don't have a tank, all of the ads go to the healer, and so the healer is gonna pretty well die if we don't have somebody to try to taunt them off or at least do some damage to them. So you'll see some of us are, you know, on the droids, some of us are on the cores, kind of split up the DPS there. So this is the start of the next boss room. I'm gonna be in blue.
Operator restriction beyond this field.
So the colors are blue, orange, purple, and yellow. Quick ready check. Clean up these ads real quick.
Blue bisection of system anomaly initiated.
And then where's the button? There's the button. I'm clicking, and our healer is standing in the middle, so that way they can still heal us. So basically, you have 2 people, one stands in the middle, and the other person clicks the button. It brings down 2 of these shields that are around the cores over here. And then the other DPS that are not in the middle or clicking the button will kill the cores. Once we get all 8 cores down, the main boss actually spawns. This guy in the middle is just kind of like a precursor to...
Safety fail-safes. Green nonagon. Gray concave. Now probable result.
And they're all Gree droids, so they all say these, like, different color and, like, oh, what's the word for it? Polygons.
System purge. System purge. System purge.
Alright, last 2. Uh-oh. And so if something attacks the person putting down the shields, they go back up. Or if the person gets out of the middle.
Hypergate seal failure imminent.
Alright.
Evacuation.
Now we get the big robot.
Fail.
Alright, so this, basically, we're just gonna kill it real quick, but there's also this, with the circles, all the circles have to be picked up, or else, somebody basically is gonna die when that shield comes down. Let's see. Alright, there we go. I forgot when we're hitting raid buffs, and so I just look for the little debuff on my bar for when to hit it. A great strategy. Pretty sure the next one is when we're going to TFB, or when we're in the tantrum phase, if I recall.
Operator response timed out. Please repeat.
Orange and yellow. All right.
System failure. Adapting. Process aborted. System failure. Adapting. Process aborted.
Alright, now we get the next 3 hypergates. So the first one is here. Then the next one will be about in the middle of this area. We're almost done with the first raid. Like, we have 2 bosses left. and they're right after one another. I'll do the strat where you jump around the cutscene instead of watching the cutscene. Because why not? The marathon. That hurt. I think that the champion monster just aggroed on me. That's weird. Took half my health in one hit. That's kind of insane. Cutscenes are slow. Actually, there is one cutscene we will watch later. Just because I like the boss and he's pretty cool. So for Kefis in story mode, you just kind of hit him. There are mechanics, but once again, they are made up and they do not matter at all. So, yeah, just enjoy us beating on the boss for the next couple of minutes until it dies. There is like one mechanic that we do kind of watch out for, and that is like our red and blue circles, because we don't want to drop those on the, don't want to drop them on the group, don't want to drop them on, you know, anybody. So, and then the end mechanic, I'll discuss in a second, because that one is, I mean, it won't even really matter, but it can kill you in story mode still, so definitely something to be careful about. Oh no, I have nanites. I don't have the red circle, thankfully. So normally what you would do is you would have one person go up to the tower. Am I doing it? Do I do it? I'm gonna do it just for fun. And you would do that, and you would remove the nanites. But, I mean, it might be a little quicker, but meh. Alright, now we all stack up under Kefis. So that way we don't, and then the person that has decent armor would stay outside and kind of kite that. There we go. Alright, and that is the second time you beat Kefis in this game. Alright, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the strat. So there, you can go around the cutscene, or you can watch spacebar through the cutscene. I mean, it doesn't really save any time. It's funny. Alright, and this is the Terror from Beyond giant squid that, so this first phase, we're gonna have these two tentacles that come up. And then we're gonna go over here to our safety rock when they go down, because he's gonna spit out little babies. And if you touch one, or if you get in its path, it blows up on you. So that's why we go to safety rock. Alright, so there'll be 3 sets of tentacles. 2 spawn the little creatures, and then the third one is a surprise. Alright, so this is our third set. Now there is a glitch with this, so hopefully we won't get anybody dying. I'm taking my hands off the keyboard. Because if you move, you die. Alright, let's see. Okay, didn't see anybody defeated, so I think we're good. We're gonna split by frame on these tentacles. I am gonna do the hard mode strat and not stand on the platform with the tentacles. It is a little bit slower, but I've always been told to jump off when it doesn't slam, so that's how I do it. Alright, one tentacle down. Second tentacle down. Now we're spreading out. There's these little irregularities. I realize I'm on the wrong side. It's fine. If we don't kill them within a certain amount of time, they start doing massive raid-wide damage. Alright, second tentacle time. There are 3 tentacle phases in this as well. 2 with the orbs that spawn, and the third one, the boss goes into a tantrum. The tantrum, you really just need... It's hard with no tank. Because the boss will constantly drop threat and swap targets, so you all have to be on your own platforms or you will die. Alright, that's done. Spreading out. Regularities. And I've completely forgotten my rotation. You know, you play a character for 11 years, and then all of a sudden you start playing a new character and you forget your old rotation. I'm just, I know. Did we get them all? Yeah, we did. Oh, whoever has aggro the boss is standing on our platform, and that's why we're getting slammed. By the boss. Alright. I totally remembered that you can't jump in here. Yeah. Professional. Alright, I'm gonna go here. So the good thing about this room is that no matter where you are, you can always hit the boss. And now we're being sucked back out of here into where we were previously. And we're still in combat. There we go. Alright, now we're exiting the area. Yeah, what's a DCD? We don't ever use those. I don't use those on my tank. That's why I don't tank. Alright, our next raid I'm going the wrong direction for. Our next raid is on Darvanis. So glad that people followed me to the wrong direction. Alright, now we're just gonna go in. Look, I only go in circles if I'm waiting for people or I'm bored, and then it's like circles on the fleet, circles on the fleet. Go around in a big circle. Then my camera 360 repeatedly. Oh, we're going? We're not going? We're going? Yeah, let's go. Wait, oh, I don't have a shield. Okay, so hopefully I don't get lost in the storm because somebody forgot to pick up a shield. The last time we did this, I was on my other tune, and that tune has a shield. But, yeah. So this boss, he basically does knockbacks, and then of course he's got like this sandstorm around him. So the storm does do periodic damage. And so our goal is to stay in this purple bubble. Normally, if we were to do regular strats, which regular strats are too slow, we don't do those. We would move the boss to the next shield generator, and we would have one of the tanks grab this shield, environmental isolation field generator, and move that with us, and we would all kind of stack in the shield. But we're not doing that, and I'm just going to show you guys what it looks like, just because. Why not? So usually, and then you've got people getting lost, so hopefully I won't get lost because I have the shield. So it's okay that I didn't have an extra shield just in case. So he's gone. Now our next strat, we'll clean up the ads real quick. Okay, they're all dead. Alright, now we're mounting back up, and we're all gonna run up here to the start of this cave. And we're gonna wait for everybody to catch up. And then we're going to run through this cave as a group to keep all the ads kind of together and make sure that nobody gets left behind. It'll be an interesting challenge. I'm gonna stop here. Alright, let's go. Now we're just gonna run through all these ads. Meow. I love that little boost. Hope they're not fighting. Oh, well, okay, we're gonna kill them all now. And I've fooled all of them. It's okay. Oh, we can mount up. Nice. I guess they, yeah, aggroed. Okay. Alright. Let's go.
Warning. You are entering a restricted area
Titan
protected
6.
by Titan 6. Titan 6 represents the ultimate choice in regional defense. Proceed at your own risk.
Alright, so Titan 6 is like this big robot. We're gonna try to one-cycle him. We haven't been able to quite get it. So we'll see. We may two-cycle him.
Hostiles detected. Initiate defense sequence 1.
I hit the wrong button. There we go. Alright. Alright, so we just used our raid buffs again. To try to get as much damage as we can on him to try to get a one cycle. So we kind of spread out for this because this is like a bunch of damage in an area. He'll also do like a volley of like rockets on the ground that are big red circles. We try to avoid those. You know, you step out of those, obviously. He also does another mechanic where he calls these ads. We kind of just bring them to the boss, and then they get burned by the AoE damage that everybody's putting out. So, lots of missiles again. This is good. We might one-cycle him. We're close.
Initiate defense
No!
sequence 3.
We didn't get him. Alright, so this is his launch. So he'll move from this location. And then immediately once he lands,
Initiate defense sequence 5.
he will be going into final burn phase, where he turns into like this like big tank that shoots fire and missiles out.
Reactor
And,
leak detected.
yep, there we go.
Attempting to compensate. Power levels at 0. System
All right.
shutting down.
So remember when I was talking about there's, you know, some that where you have to, there's a lot of walking in between bosses. This is one of them, and it's just full of ads. So what we do is we pull like the first half of the ads, and then we pull the second half. So we're gonna pull as many as we can together in the middle of the cave here, and then yeah, we'll just burn those for a couple of minutes. Alright, now we're moving on to the next set. Now, when we did our practice run, I remember we were trying to pull all of the ads together, which was not a fun time. We actually had a team wipe. Everybody died. Good time, good time. Now we have one group left. You know what they say? That there's a hidden datacron at the bottom of that Sarlacc pit. You just gotta jump in there to get it. I get people with that all the time, in like pickup groups and stuff. Great. Alright, so Thrasher is pretty simple. We're just gonna have somebody pull them to the back wall there next to the gate. You don't want to stand on the gate because you'll get pushed through it, and then it'll reset the boss and you'll be stuck on the other side of the gate.
Give me a war beast any day. Isn't that right, Thrasher?
So, because it does do a little knockback thing. And you can't, so like for hard mode, you want to send people up to the top of the arena. But for story mode, it's not really necessary because the snipers aren't that bad.
Give me a war beast
There is another mechanic in this fight where it's going to say a mercenary firebug has targeted X person. At that time, they have to run out of the group or they'll drop fire on us. So kind of like that. Once it kneels down, you can run away. Alright, let's get these snipers taken care of. I don't know why I thought I was targeting the snipers across the way when I did that. I just tried to hit tab to open my map. I know that's not my map my map key. I'm used to having the little mini map in the bottom right be like expanded. So I probably will. There we go. So the goal for this is just to kill this guy, and then we do the first set of the first mob here we'll kill, and then there's like a bunch of mobs in between us and the next boss, but there's a little trick to that. So we're just gonna kill these guys. We do have a stealther that will run in stealth to the other side and click on a button. While they're doing that, we're gonna get healed up and also get mounted up. Real quick. Alright, so when they make it to the button, because we're still in this room, when they push that button, we get teleported to the boss without having to fight anything else in between. And this is actually a strat that I learned from another guild that was doing this at one point. I had no idea that it was a thing until like maybe a year or two ago.
Patrol teams, this is
I'm just reading
got your assignments. We're here to show the Hutts what we can do. So no room for screw-ups. Stick to your patrol zones, maintain contact, and keep your eyes open.
So for story mode, you have, what is it, 10 minutes to clear this. We don't take 10 minutes to clear it.
Gold team. Well,
alright, we're mounting back up.
Green team, all clear.
They're gonna start their fight at... So we just killed red. They're gonna go to green, and they're gonna go to gold. So we split our DPS on this one. Normally in hard mode, you have 2 people on each team. I got stuck. You have 2 people on each team. There are 4 teams, red, green, yellow, and blue. So for us, we're just dividing our DPS in half because it doesn't matter in story mode. And so the first team is doing red and blue, and the second team is doing yellow and green, and I just pulled a droid. The goal is not to pull any droids, but sometimes my character, you know, decides that it's just gonna pull everything. It's fine. Totally fine. Alright, so now we've cleared the city. Now our goal is to kill the ops leader, who is in a bunker up here. And because the door doesn't close, we just go ahead and start attacking.
The operations center is under attack. Need reinforcements now.
Alright, so we're about done with this op. Well, not really. I guess we've got like, what, 4 bosses left? So this is by far, I would say probably the second longest. So we have to kill the rail turrets, or else they'll kill the healer. And we had like 7 minutes to spare on that. This next one is probably the longest boss fight of the whole raid. If I do copy the voice lines, not my fault. It's like just something that always happens because he just says the same 3 things repeatedly,
So many
and it's very annoying.
No more trip mines, gourmet turrets.
Neurotoxins from Quash.
Alright, let's see if we can break the boss. So, there is a way you can break the boss by killing this guy before he gives out all the tokens. So, if I get a token, I'll be keeping that for skee ball later. You know? So, at the beginning of this boss is he just got 2 bodyguards, and then he shields after so long of us hitting on him. Okay, I didn't see that it gave anybody a token, but sure.
Been saving this for a special
okay, well, we broke it. We broke it. We broke it. So now we're going down the elevator, because otherwise we're just gonna die to the poison that's upstairs.
Plasma, ion, or carbonite? Why not all 3?
Okay, and then we're just gonna kill these droids left to right, typically. They're definitely, so typically you get 8 tokens, 1 for each person. And he found these babies on Ord Mantell, you like? And so then we would remove 8 droids out of here. I think we got 4. I think we got 4 tokens. We definitely did not do the intended strat on it.
Found these babies in Ord Mantell. You like?
Okay, I think last year we broke Explosive Conflict and only one-cycled the Walker, which is pretty great.
Should have.
So we've got these little droids that do like shocky floor, and then we've got the like arsenal guys that just do like damage. The shocky floor is what'll get you, especially if you have like 3 or 4 of them in one row. It's really hard to manage sometimes, and so end up with a bunch of damage all over the place. Now we play the waiting game, because the walls take forever to go down.
You like?
I found these babies on Ord Mantell. You like? Finally. Oh, not me yeeting myself into lightning. It totally doesn't happen all the time. Okay, now we sit here and wait again.
Not even sure what this does. Let's find out.
And then the boss is like a big hologram above us. Is his health still messed up? No, they fixed it. It used to be like it would show like way more health than what he was supposed to have or something, or it would show him at like 60% health, but his health bar was full. I don't remember 100%, but it was broken. Alright, now we gotta wait for him to come down.
Not even sure what this does. Let's find out. Found these babies an odd man tell. You like? Time to show my clients how it's done.
To do a barrel roll. I'm not spec'd into that. It's not a barrel roll, but like I can do a twisty move across the screen if I'm spec'd into it. I actually have an extra DCD instead of that. Just because you never know when you're gonna need guarded by the Force and like take no damage for 3 seconds. Oh, okay. Well, eventually he'll come back. He just continues to stealth out because he's scared that we're gonna beat him.
Doesn't matter. So plenty of this stuff to the others.
Alright. He's sold plenty of the stuff to the otters. That's clearly what he said. He didn't say anything else. So now we're just waiting for somebody to swap to tank really quick before we continue on. So I did kind of lie about us not having a tank. We have somebody that swaps to tank for 2 boss fights and 2 boss fights only. The last 2 boss fights of this, we'll have a tank, and then they'll swap back to DPS after we finish this this raid. So we just find it much easier to have a tank, especially on the last boss here. He can get kind of stressful. Also, you have to be careful about where you stand here, because these guys do like to knock people off. In the current world record that we have, we had one of them knock us into the bonus boss over here, which is in that little spot there. And we beat the bonus boss in... And that was also pretty close to team wipe, if I remember correctly. It's been a couple of years since we have put a run on the board, but... Alright, now we get Cartel Warlords. Alright, normal kill order. If we were doing this normally, if we had 2 tanks, and we had 2 heals, and we had, you know,
hardly even worth our time, really.
we would kill Pork first, and then we would kill Gar, and then we would kill Sunder and T-Chuck. But since we only have the 1 tank, we're going to be killing Sunder first, and then going back to normal order after that.
Imperial,
so,
doesn't matter. Bring it
because
on.
Sunder does this like insane attack where he can basically one-shot you, and he chases you, so rather than have somebody have to kite him, we just take care of him first. Alright, and then while we're doing this, Horik is going to be like shooting at one person every chance he gets. It's really avoidable. You just step out of his little conal and it's fine. Does it project a conal on the floor that you can see? No. But you just kind of step out of it a little bit, and you're fine. Alright, and now that he's gone, we go to Gar. Now Gar cloaks and like backstabs somebody when he comes uncloaked. So we just kind of move around with him. It's also much harder to get rid of him if you're doing it the normal way, because he'll jump to the tank that's hiding Sunder in the back, and it's like a whole thing of like, you have all the melee DPS, you know, jumping across the map to go get him, and then they die because they... Alright, now we move T-Chuck to his enforcers, and we AoE them down. And that's gonna be Cartel Warlords. I don't know why I did rocket boost instead of pulling out my mount. That's fine. Alright. Here's more hallways that we have to walk through to get to a boss. Are we all in? I think we're all in. I think we are. Alright. Some of these guys explode when they get low enough health. Oh, you just kind of step out of the circles. If you eat 3 or 4 of those, it takes like half your health, and that's a lot. We don't know, so. Alright, now we come across the bridge. This is the bridge boss. We paid our toll a few weeks ago when we were doing practice runs, so we don't have to pay another toll. Okay, we only have to do it like one time. Alright, normally you would pull these groups one at a time, but that's slow. We don't do that. We pull them all. So the goal here is to focus the elites, and then the strongs go down easier. We missed a group. Alright, now we're gonna get the Kel Dragon. Alright, our goal is to get him down before he summons a ghost to choke the tank. See how that goes. He's spining. Alright, now for this, we all stand behind the tank and let them take all the damage while we cower behind them, not taking any of the damage and not dying. This is also why we have a tank.
Obey me, beast. Fight on!
I think we're gonna get a ghost.
It will be avenged.
Maybe not. Alright, now the time has come for the actual boss to come down, Styrak. Let's see if I get a nightmare? Maybe? During our practice runs, couldn't get a nightmare, so hopefully this time the game will be merciful and give me a nightmare, so I can show you what that looks like. Basically, during this fight, he's gonna put certain people in nightmares. They have to go in and fight a companion. And the companion has like almost no health, but if you're a tank or a healer, you're not killing that. But so then he does that. I call it a WWE ring because it's like a ring of lightning, and then it gets smaller and smaller, and you have to kill the guy in the middle. But yeah, let's see. Can I get a nightmare? Come on, nightmare. Nope.
You will fall.
Well, didn't get a nightmare. And there won't be another opportunity because he's almost in burn.
Now you'll see real power.
He's in burn when he comes out. When he comes out of this form, he'll be in burn, pretty much. I did have a glitch one time where he did a nightmare on me as I was a tank. And then the dog that he just spawned in my dream with, or in my nightmare with me and died. It was great. I've never been able to reproduce that effect, but it was fantastic.
Submit or die.
Now he's just gonna jump around the room. He's gone.
It will be enough.
Selected the wrong thing. Fine, alright. Now we're leaving this one, and we do have to travel off the fleet. So we will get to see the planet of Onderon for a little bit. We'll get to see the capital city, and that's about it. A little peek at the palace. I could have also just picked up the weekly for Onderon, but summon even though I'm down the hallway. It's fine. Alright. Welcome to the third raid of the evening. On the planet Duxon. Or it's a moon, sorry, the moon of Duxon. So the story behind this one is basically Zerka has been doing some experiments on the moon, and now those experiments have escaped. So we kind of have to clean up their mess. This also has like one of the funniest characters in a raid ever in it. Arya is fantastic. There's some great banter later with Arya. They're not even a boss. They're just great banter.
What is that striking flower?
Cynthium derpidic. It's actually a fungus, believe it or not. Take note of its location. It's one of the only countermeasures to
I don't remember
toxins found in the local
where we're supposed
wildlife.
to stop. I couldn't remember if we went all the way through the cave or... It's fine, it's fine, everything's fine. Ding ding. Alright, we're almost to the first boss. First boss is red.
Is that? It is. Red's escaped her pen. Where's Wen?
The one with the venom? Where's the transponder?
Inside of Red, as some of us had already suspected. So we have a new problem. The anti-venom is locked inside the facility, and anyone without it.
Alright. Our goal is to get rid of red before
It's not refined, but inhaling the spores will still block
before she does her jets all over the floor and makes us
Ground team, prepare to engage. Remember, move her plant
die
to
quickly. Normally you would move her between these plants and break the plants when you hit like 10 to 15 stacks. Or it's not 10, is it? Is it 10? No, I guess it's 10 to 15. Depending on how the heals are going, and then interrupt that. And you can pretty much interrupt anything she does, so we just kind of keep her locked out of being able to use her abilities.
Sensors indicate the horde
There we
is
go.
beginning to dissipate.
And now we jump off the cliff.
We can contemplate the implications later. Ground team, recover Wen's ID and head to the facility.
I'm confused. How did the ID survive?
Well, it's quite simple, really. When you understand the environmental hazards of your handlers, you update the materials of their equipment. The badges are virtually...
So then this raid always confuses people because there's a green door on the map, but that's not where you go.
Fiduciary duty to consider.
So you go in this this normal door here. I'll need to click it, don't we?
We are connected to the system, running a diagnostic now. I'm reading multiple containment failures across the pens and a breach of the facility wall.
And the emergency systems?
Fully operational. All of our problems are boxed into the pens. We'll need to shut down the coils and reboot the security system manually.
Well, that's less than ideal.
Alright, now we're gonna go up the elevator. We're gonna get our
flares, stims, whatever you
stims
find.
and flares.
Going to be playing this by ear.
In story mode, you cannot stim somebody to death like you can in hard mode, so big sad. I think in hard mode it's 3 stems. Look at somebody. I'm gonna pick up a flare just cause why not?
Once these doors open, you will be under constant attack. Your objective is the control room. To reach it, you must disable the coils. Make your way to the secondary generator shed. I'll instruct you as you go.
Now you have to be careful with these guys because they spit purple stuff all over the floor. And now we're zooming. And we're gonna kill this charger. Chinson, this is ready. Okay. So we're just gonna run through these pens, kill the different mobs, and then when we get to the end, I get to do all the clicking. So, just because we thought it would be funnier if I did all the clicking. Okay, we are killing them. So the flare go down. So the flare kind of neutralizes the poison from the little guys. It doesn't? I was always told it did. I was always told the flare kind of neutralized it a little. No? Not at all? I was lied to. How dare. Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Listen carefully. Find a backup generator control terminal. Set it to secondary power load test.
No, I was talking, well...
Next.
Because I always thought that...
You'll see a series of 5 breaker boxes. Open
it kind of stopped them from using the poison with the flare.
The third wire.
Or the little puddles, the acid puddles.
Stop! Third from the right!
Any other surprises? Next. Last, go to the shield control console. Shut down the B-pens and hold on to something.
Critical alert. Power overload. BC pen secondary generator. Rerouting to error. Unknown grid failure. C-pen.
Told you it would work.
Performing
It's fine. Give it a few seconds. The reboot will fail too.
Alert. Containment breach. B-pens, C-pens. Grid failure. C-pens.
Alright, let's go.
Maintenance response required.
Oh, well, you had me worried for a moment there.
Initiating adaptive security protocol. Containment.
Now we get to meet, so there will be some coils, some electricity coils, that we have to avoid, as well as,
what exactly does that mean? Sorry.
Are we killing them?
You'll have to take cover while the coils are on, and run when they're not.
Right, we need to get up.
Stop and go it is. Ground team, head to the lake enclosure and make for the breach in the walkway.
Alright. Now we're gonna get up here. I'm gonna wait for the power coils to do their thing. Coming online. Now normally we would run to the second rock, but because we, you know, gotta give all the good strats, we're gonna go to the third rock, hopefully, and make it there without being shocked to death. This will spawn 2 crabs out of the lake, and we'll have to kill them, but... Alright, now we're running for the door. Will anybody die? Who knows? They're gonna come back online in a second.
Quickly, get everyone in and close the walkway door. Excellent. We're in the clear.
And so basically you can kind of cheese that a little bit and just have somebody run to the end and click the thing.
Quite the nasty lot gathering out there.
Unknown failure. Holding pen's power.
Just hold on. It'll reboot.
Oh, that's right. We're having a flare party. Yeah, it's a lot of flares.
Power restored. Scanning. Alert. Unauthorized life forms detected in control room. Initiating Warden protocol.
At least the shield is holding.
Unknown failure. Holding pen's power.
Max, why?
Alright. Now we just clear up these couple ads here, and we should be good. We did bug this at one point where they never stopped spawning ads. So let's hope that doesn't happen. I spoke the bug into existence. I think. Yup. Stuck it. Okay. That's the second time that's ever happened. Like, I've never seen that happen before. Our first run that we when it bugged. So yeah. It's fine. One, yeah. Maybe? Oh. Need two. That one should be fine. Yeah, we have to start from this portion again. And I always have to remind myself, don't transcendence until we get up. Oils are coming on. Well, I'm not even in that voice shot right now. Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Come on, transcendence. And stim. Okay, so I need to be slower when I click the console.
Quickly, get everyone in and close the walkway door.
Or, oh, we may have killed the robots too quickly.
Excellent. We're in the clear.
I don't
Access the
remember how
control
we
room
fixed
console
it.
with Radler's ID card.
Quite the nasty lot gathering out there.
Unknown failure. Holding pen's power.
Just hold on. It'll reboot.
Player party.
Power restored. Scanning. Alert. Unauthorized life forms detected in control room. Initiating Warden protocol.
At least the shield is holding.
Unknown failure. Holding pen's power.
Excellent. Why? The droids are down. Use the console.
There we go. We did it. Alright, now we're on our way to Trandos. I forgot there were enemies there. So we have a couple of rooms of Trandoshans to kill, and then we have a Trandoshan boss. So for this, I'm just gonna stand here and look pretty while they do all the work. Basically, there's a battery that you have to put into like a socket to get the power to come back on, so that way we can go the next part of the facility.
The ARIA processor core is no longer actually on fire. Attempting recalibration. Error, the ARIA processor core power module is damaged.
You can't be serious.
Don't worry. This actually happens more often than you'd think. We've got a cache of spare modules downstairs.
The most important device in the entire facility routinely catches fire?
You get used to it.
And not to mention the voice lines in this raid are just great. So normally we wouldn't fight these guys. It looks like there may have been nukes.
Reinitializing primary systems. Success.
Finally!
You just have a stealther go through and do
over,
the battle.
right?
Alert! A mandatory evacuation order has been issued for the holding pens. Please flee the area at your earliest
Then we're gonna go over here to this
Alert.
elevator
The Evolutionary
here.
Warfare Laboratory is experiencing a security irregularity involving unauthorized personnel, blaster fire, and a confidential material containment malfunction. Danger! Immediate quarantine protocols are required.
Quarantine? Arya, mutagen status!
Hello, Dr. Safala. There are currently 4 contact mutagen containment failures and multiple unauthorized personnel detected
Now normally,
within
like,
contamination proximity.
I mean, I
A
guess
tactical
back when
maintenance
this first came out,
response is required.
you would have the tank
Congratulations,
go down,
Dr.
pull
Safala.
these around the
The
corner, and
specimen
everybody would
is
stand on those
suspected
bushes at the door back there.
Oh no.
Because these guys are proximity murderers.
Genetic material before?
If you're close to them, you're dead.
Nara, I think you may be missing the big picture. Ground team, we need you in the labs as soon as possible.
What's going on?
Our containment problem just learned to pilot a ship. And if we don't stop it now, we may not get another chance.
Alright, now we're gonna let the stealthers do their job and see if they can find a key without us having to... I just walked through fire. Without us having to take on any more ads. Like, oh, okay. A couple groups over here. Oh, that hurts. Oh, okay, healers down? Healers down? That's rough. Okay. Hey, look, I said we'll let the stealthers see what they can do.
ID. That should allow you to clear the gaps and enter the interior
Sometimes
lab.
it'd be like that, though. You know? And you always walk on the right side of the staircase because there's Trandoshans under the staircase. To the left. Alright. Time for the fun part. Normally the goal isn't to die in boss fights, but I will I'll be dying at the end of this one, just to show a little thing that happens with dying. With a certain method. Alright, so the goal is to get the Trandoshans down to 15% apiece. There are 4 of them. I know what you're thinking. There's only 2 on the screen right now. Well, get ready. Because there's gonna be more. At about a minute into the fight, the other 2 drop down from the ceiling. The goal is to get them to 15% on the track, and then we call a train. We're a little ahead here. Train's not ready.
It will definitely die. Just be mindful that if you fail, it will be a lot stronger when it recovers.
Come on, train, train, train.
Transport request acknowledged.
There we go.
Transport will arrive in 6 minutes.
All right.
Update. Transport will be arriving in error minutes. The train is now The train is now departing. Please stand clear.
All right, so that's 2 of the 4 gone. Now we just simply move these other 2 to the. That's 1 of the 4 gone. Because Sisyphus decided not to go down. Alright. I hope they're calling another train. We probably need another train. I think Sisyphus is going to come back up before we get these guys down. Call that train.
Transport request acknowledged. Your transport will arrive in 6 minutes.
I think we're gonna have an issue here with Sisyphus.
Update. Transport will be arriving in error minutes.
Alright, I'm gonna stand here. You're not supposed to stand on the tracks.
The train is now departing. Please stand clear.
Red screen! Let's go! We also use the feigned death to see how many people we can get with our feigned death loot drops. I do that I kind of do that when I'm just out in the world too. I've had many people approach my body on the ground trying to loot it.
safety, the elevators on this floor are currently offline. We apologize for any inconvenience.
Max, can you override that?
No can do. System's locked out from the fire protocol. Well, the sector's all kinds of shot up.
I suppose there's no way around it then. You'll have to take the stairs.
Now, normally, we would be taking the stairs on this, which takes an extreme amount of time because the devs put in a mechanic where as you go up the stairs, you get more tired. And so it's much harder to walk up the stairs. But because we have the codex for this, we just come over here to this elevator. And I'm gonna see if I can get it to work. I'm gonna wait for them to do it. I'm gonna listen for the elevator sound and see if I can get it to sync up. Heard it? Oh, there we go. Normally, I wouldn't do that, but might as well. These are the stairs. And you come up to the top and you have those two guys you have to bring down to unlock the elevator. And it takes forever to do. So, there's also another room over here that you have to RP walk through, or otherwise you get destroyed by a turret. We get to skip all of that. I'm gonna show another little trick here for all the time save. Because why not? Why not? We're gonna meet our friend Shelly. Down in the lake. Oh. There we go. Oh, I can't be rezzed, can I? I have to walk all the way back. Okay. Alright, now I have to be careful. Coming back through here. There are still Trandos here. And over here. But... and I can't mount here, so it's... and elevator. Alright. And you always go out the left door. Or out the left window. But when you bring new people through, you always tell them, oh, go out the right window. Because, you know, they end up in the lake. Alright. Now the strat with this one is we don't look at him. Until he's been pulled. Otherwise, he jumps across the map a bunch. Very frustrating. Alright, will I get a grenade? Question. So, people will be targeted with grenades. So the circles used to be bugged and they did not show up on the ground, so you just had to remember where the grenades landed. But the goal of this fight is to stay in this white circle. It's like a beam of light, kind of, and it keeps the ads off of you. We're gonna see if we can one cycle it. I think we're gonna one cycle. Oh yeah, he's done. He's done. We won't even get to see the part where he zaps the little creatures as he brings them across, because he'll immediately be eaten by Shelly.
Why would you even make
Hello, Shelly.
Shelly! Radler was supposed
Shelly!
to be here ages ago. poor thing barely even fits in that tiny pond.
Nara, now is not... Wait. Wait, that's Venom Specimen 0. Ground team, do you copy?
Alright.
You need to kill
now
that
the thing is if you... There's a certain ability she does that will one-shot you, and then you can't be rezzed. Alright. Remember what I said at the beginning, where I said, oh, you know, all cutscenes are slow, you know, we don't watch them. This is one we're gonna watch. Just because I love this cutscene.
Zerka Interstellar is proud to introduce the latest iteration of our legendary Apex Vanguard. Our evolutionary combat adaptation system performs real-time analysis of environmental challenges to deliver the ultimate predator. This model features our peak performance amplifier, which dramatically enhances effectiveness right from the get-go.
Alright. This has some great voice lines with it too. That would just
It may
be...
seem like these challengers have managed to meaningfully injure the Apex Vanguard, but nothing could be further from the truth. We call this groundbreaking innovation photogenesis. Its efficacy is profound. Even heavy artillery fire can't keep pace with this regenerative power.
You need to kill the lights immediately. Destroy the central
now
power
we have to
transformer,
destroy the
then pull
central
out the
power-
backup battery cell.
Alright. I'm gonna be running the battery, just because it's fun. So basically the battery gives you stacks of tiredness.
It doesn't matter how fast they are, if there's nowhere
and
left to run.
I'm gonna drop it here. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Venom Cloud first, but basically, if this was normal and we were not stacking DPS to try to kill this quickly, there would be a whole sequence of, you know, we have to do wash the floor, we have to clear the Venom Cloud, we have to interrupt mass target lock. We're probably gonna get one, maybe two Venom Clouds.
Throwing the kitchen sink at Jedi, only to have him throw it right back?
Get the battery to the air filtration system now!
With our innovative new Crimson Venom aerosol, you'll have them try to use the Force to push away the very air they breathe.
You can't keep it in darkness the whole time.
Actually,
when
we can.
darkness overdrive gets dangerous, plug the lights back in for a few seconds and let it subside.
Oh, another Venom Cloud.
Live demonstration complete. Returning to normal communication protocols.
Is it actually dead, or is this just another marketing ploy?
It's still in the prototype
Alright,
phase.
now we're leaving again.
And it'll stay there.
And we'll
if I
get to
have anything
see
say
the
about it.
planet
Let's
of
table this
Reach.
discussion for now. Mechs, get our cleanup teams down there ASAP. Ground team, please
I think we should still beat 2 hours. We might be a little close. I don't know why I didn't just pick up the weekly. Ding ding. And this is where the inspiration for these mounts come from, is this raid. Run into. So this is the last raid that we're doing tonight. It's called the Ravagers. It's part of the Shadow of Revan expansion. You ask me, was the last greatest expansion they came out with? It was like the greatest expansion they ever had, but
I want to watch out for Sparky. Even chained up, she almost made a meal of my hand once. The other hand.
we take what we can get nowadays. In, and we have to make sure that everybody's in because there's like a little car, or not a car, sorry, a speeder that drops down when we start the fight. Some kind of speeder, like metal wall type thing, and won't let anybody in.
Sparky mad!
And this is my least favorite fight. Just because of this ability that she does. She just jumps around the room. I don't have enough jump or leaps for that.
Sparky. So long, Sparky. You were a good girl, but it had to be done.
Okay, so pretty much throughout this whole raid, I don't think there's anywhere where you can actually mount up. So I'll be using rocket boost and my transit quite a bit. So we're heading to the second boss now, who is Ulo. Once again, these are just like super long hallways with a bunch of enemies. Super slow and I like Duxon because it's all more bosses put together quickly. And all this walking around. So we have 2 more groups before we pull the next boss. Now normally if we were doing this, you know, as our normal Friday night raid, we would just pull the guys over to the pole. It takes a hot minute for them to get there, so... Warning, my frame rate is going to drop to about 3 FPS here in a second. So we have to fight all these drunken pirates. No, it's not as low as I thought it would be. It did affect it a little. We have to fight all these pirates, these drunken pirates that were in the bar. That way we can get to the next boss.
I'm in time for Bulo's weekly booze delivery to Raiders Cove. Needed Slater's own.
So basically with Bulo, back in the day, I had a guild die because of this raid. This raid and Temple of Sacrifice killed an entire guild. But, so he does a tonal on the 2 people with the highest threat. Normally I would have Star Parse open, just to see if I'm at the top of the threat table. I do have it open currently. But so he'll just shoot like around on the ground a bunch because our threats like swapping around. He used to have to pick up one of these barrels of these kegs and like take them to the pirates that he calls to get their attention or something like that. He even had to do that for a while. They nerfed him massively when he first came out. Oh no. And you gotta manage your circles. Circle management is a big part of this raid as well. Alright. That's Bulo down. Ready to go.
Bulo! Blasted Bulo, come in! Why aren't you out delivering? Better get your ugly rearing gear or I'll find you a permanent replacement.
Alright, then we have a few groups of ads. I think we're gonna try to skip one. Not sure that that's still something that we're gonna try to do. We'll see. Once we get on the ship, there's 2 groups, I think. And then we have Torque,
and I'll do the rest.
Who is a Wookiee engineer. Once again, the mechanics are made up and they don't matter either, as many of these fights have been, so. And they will all continue to be. Because most story mode raids at this point are just like pushovers. There are a couple that will still like really wreck you in like story mode, but so his mechanics are, he puts fire on the ground, he also calls these firebomb probe droid things, and then he also does these little guys on the ground called shoots lasers. This is like One of the funniest bosses, because everything is literally named just like something generic. There's a mechanic where he breaks these panels that you see on the wall. There are 4 of them. He breaks those. I almost died to fire. He breaks those, and then you have to click panels in the back that send out repair droids that are called Fix For You. Hey, he didn't even break a panel. Let's go.
Oh, this here.
The boss told me to mess you up, but good.
Master Blaster time. This is the part that kind of gets a little hairy, I feel like, just for my anxiety. But so he has this mechanic. The Blaster has this mechanic where he'll like shoot the tank backwards like that. He also does these big orange circles on the ground that do periodic damage and stuff. So you have to kind of watch out for those and make sure you're not getting pushed back into one. He also puts on these little blue circles. They're like little mines that will blow up on you if you overlap your circle. So you just have to watch your circles and make sure you're not getting circled. Now he's calling down Master, who's this little astromech. He does hit hard, so he's on me and he's about to do fire. Okay, I'm running away. So he does this like fire spinny. I jumped into that too soon. He also does this little laser beam that goes to the tank, and you're supposed to have somebody stand in it. And then there is a mechanic that we will not see because we just skipped it. It's called Carpet Bomb. And basically, one half of the screen is filled with bombs, like this red line that goes across, and then you have to run to the opposite side, or things like that. And so this is basically the final phase. He's doing this like AoE that everybody's supposed to get, so that way they don't get knocked off the ship when we destroy Blaster.
Don't worry, I got more for you.
Or when Blaster does his push, yeah, he's doing like pushes and stuff. And now we run away from him because he's, oh god.
Someone fix me up.
This rough. Okay. I got saved by Guarded by the Force.
Need to hop over to Kuratani's ship.
We did have one casualty. Alright. Up a little bit. Alright, so now we're gonna take this little speeder over to another ship. Or is it? I can never remember if it's another ship or just another area of the ship. Pretty sure it's another.
Got some nerve, you bunch of loonies. Sticking your noses where they don't belong. Gonna cut them right off is what I'm gonna do.
Oh, it is another area of the same ship? I could never remember. Like... so now we're coming up here to this, hole in the floor that we've got to jump down. Yeah, there's a strategic way to it, or you can just jump all the way down. I just jumped all the way down, because Who needs the slow method of being careful and not losing all of your health? Dying? Oh, we're doing the pull? Okay. So, we've been grouping up 2 sets at a time. I don't know that it's faster. I mean, I guess maybe it is. If you get them all to follow. We're dragging one guy. Not anymore. Alright. We have one boss left. When I say one boss, it's like 3 bosses in one. Now, normally I would have my May 4th pet out, because there's a new May 4th pet every year, but with this particular raid, if you have a pet out in the final boss, it resets every time that you try to kill it.
I warned you not to cross me, Cora.
No pets allowed. The only pet that's allowed is the pet bird that the boss keeps. Okay, and I have to remember to swap at like 22% or something.
Here we go, Pearl.
Otherwise, we get a mechanic called deck guns, and those aren't fun. So, there is like a couple of things that happens with the boss. Basically, if you kill Pearl too soon, the boss enrages. If you, she's got like this conal that she does, and it'll catch you on fire, kind of. And so then you have to have somebody push the button, bring down the coolant system or whatever. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then at the end, we click on this escape pod over here.
Scruff ball would double cross you. Have a nice life, short as it's going to be.
And now we've learned that the person that we came in here to like help double cross us. Now, the only thing that we can do, of course, is go attack the person that sent us here. So he does abilities where he's got like mines on the ground. He also has a mouse droid that attacks people. The biggest killer is called Cull, and he'll like pull you into him, and then instead of damage being taken by the boss, damage is taken by you. and if your team doesn't stop DPS in time, you die. I have given the team permission that if I get pulled in to continue DPS, just to see if they can
Nice try.
help me. Well, oopsies.
Nice try. All right. You got me. I'm going down.
All right, now we run over to this escape pod. Time will be coming up very shortly. And it's time. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong key. That's why it's not stopping. Ha! Haha, brain. It works. I did have one thing I wanted to show you guys. Is this true? And we spawn back into the boss room. So thank you guys for having me today. I want to say thank you to my raiders, and you know, if you guys are looking to pick up the game, and you want to chill guild, we're more than happy to have you on Satil Shan for the Tython Coalition. I also did have one more shout out, and that's to Project Nexus, which I am a part of. Where it's a speedrunning organization looking to kind of like, you know, pull all the communities together and have, you know, one big happy family under that umbrella. So do like events, tournaments and things. So if you're interested, you can always hit me up as well. And check out my Twitch, thezman1. Thank you. Have a great night, everybody. And that's it for me.